Ah yes, Minecraft. What a beautiful game you can play on your PC, Switch, hell, even the 3DS. But why play on those systems if you play on the PS1? Hello everyone, sorry for the lack of videos, but here I am with another video. But not only that, a friend will be helping me with this video. His name is Genspace Gaming. Moving on, in this video we will be talking about unofficial Minecraft ports / Minecraft Homebrew. We will be taking a look at 4 different versions for 4 different consoles. Starting out, we will be talking about the DS version. It's quite well known and it's called DSCraft. This version is probably the most well known version, but really limited with the controls and the block choices. You can only do so much with this version. I know it's not really a replacement for Minecraft, just a cool thing to brag about. But talking about the game, you are only in creative mode, the world isn't too big, and there are 2 separate versions of this game depending on what consoles you have, a DSFAT or a DSi. But moving on, how does it control? Not good. The D-pad and ABX white buttons move around. Even as a lefty, not sure why so many first-person games on the DS do this. I'd rather use the ABX white buttons to look around. Both L and R buttons are used for breaking in plates and blocks on the touchscreen. There's a toggle button to turn on breaking or placing blocks. But you can use the touchscreen to look around and tap to jump, which barely works. Just building a small house was dreadful. Keep in mind, I was recording this with a phone, and the DS fat screens aren't too good.
Next, we have Fromage, a Minecraft clone made for the PS1. This Minecraft clone is based on the oldest console on this list, and it surprisingly does run pretty well. Performance certainly isn't the best, however. The game usually never goes above 30 FPS unless you're underground. The average FPS seems to be around 10 to 15. But for a 90s console running a Minecraft clone, it is decent for what it is. The game also seems to be running at a 480p resolution. Performance is of course as you would expect from an older console, but it is still decently playable. Now let's briefly get into how the controls work. There are some different control options for this game depending on what type of controller you are using, either a standard PlayStation 1 controller or a DualShock controller. If you are using the standard controller layout, the controls go as follows. The D-pad is used to move, and to control the camera, hold down X or triangle and move the D-pad to move the camera. Square is selecting a block, circle is picking a block, and cross is for jumping. L1 and R1 are used to move the hotbar cursor, L2 is used to destroy blocks, and R2 is for placing blocks. Finally, pressing start will allow you to go to the menu. Speaking of the menu, there really isn't much of a UI other than the hotbar and inventory system. No world selections and no survival mode either, just creative. Other than the world it immediately puts you into, there really isn't much else to do aside from building whatever you want with the blocks that it offers. Speaking of blocks, there is a very limited selection. Compared to many other Minecraft hacks, this is very low in comparison. As follows, here are the blocks present. It's not terrible for a hack, but it is still quite limited. Finally, some interesting quirks about this version include the water and lava blocks. These are glitched as far as I can tell, and whenever you place them, it continues placing water or lava all over your world, which is pretty weird to say the least. Next, there are naturally spawning trees as well as an ocean area off the mainland, so there is at least some biome variety. In short, Fromage isn't the best fan-made Minecraft clone out there, but it is decent for what it is.
Another one I'll be talking about is arguably the best one on the list, and this is the PSP version. I say this because it's the closest to Minecraft, as it has both creative mode and survival mode. There's a lot of Minecraft on the PSP versions made by different people, and that's because it's all open source. But the version I'll be taking a look at today is made by Raging Studios. The menu reminds me a lot of legacy Minecraft from the PS3, Wii U, etc. The game itself is a stripped down Minecraft, huge surprise. But this is the most feature rich. The controls are a lot better compared to the DS, but to be fair, it does have a joystick, so of course it'll be better than using a D-pad. To look around, you use the X, circle, square, triangle buttons. Jumping is the worst part. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. But to jump, you have to press select. The other mechanics are confusing, but once you learn them, it's not too hard, like pressing L plus R to open up the crafting. That might sound annoying, but it's actually okay. As the footage shows, it's easier to build. To break / place blocks, it's left and right respectively. To move the hotbar, it's left and right on the D-pad. Overall, it's not a bad gameplay experience, and to prove this point, I actually play this version at school quite often.
Now let's talk about a Minecraft clone on the 3DS called Craftus Reloaded. This Minecraft clone is one of the most developed on this list, with an actual UI and main menu. Craftus Reloaded greets you with a title screen where you can choose to delete, create, or play a selected world. Only creative mode is present here, and there is quite a limited block selection as you can see here, although the graphics are not terrible for a game like this. This game can run up to 60 FPS, and the textures are pretty detailed for being a Minecraft hack on the 3DS. The resolution is 240p, which is the same as most other 3DS games. The controls for this game are pretty interesting, however. A, B, X, and Y don't seem to do anything, but the circle pad and C stick are used for controlling your movement and the camera respectively. The L and R buttons are used for placing and breaking blocks respectively, and the ZL and ZR buttons, if applicable, control your jump and fly and your sneaking. Finally, toggling the D-pad left and right controls what you have selected in your hotbar. To select items, you can use the touchscreen. It certainly surprised me to see features like flying and sneaking present here. They do work exactly like how they do in official Minecraft as well. In addition, pressing start allows you to go back to the title screen, and pressing select brings up a command menu. Not sure what this is supposed to be for, but I'm sure commands for this exist somewhere. Some interesting things to note about this game include no biome generation. There's either a super flat world option or a SMEA world that puts you in a pretty large grassy hill world, not much else. Compared to some other hacks on this list, this one does certainly feel and look more complete. It is overall an enjoyable experience, but due to its lack of features, it will surely get boring pretty fast. But in the end, for a hack, I find it to be pretty good.
I really didn't have an outro planned, so go subscribe to Genspace, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.